guys, and welcome back to another video. It's me, Bryson Sports Talk, and today we are talking about some NFL head coaching openings, updates, top candidates for teams that just fired their coaches, and stuff like that. I'm shooting you guys my second video, or my second day in a row where I'm posting a video, and tomorrow there will also be a video. So 3 days in a row with the video. I'm on the grind. Unfortunately, I won't be posting a video for a little bit after that due to some family stuff. Other than that, I'm going to be back on the grind. And yeah, so of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Go check out my Twitter. It'll be linked in the description. Yeah, so that's basically going to be it. Let's just talk about some teams that have fired their coaches and some of their top candidates. So with our first team today, we have the Chicago Bears. The Bears fired Matt Nagy, which is very expected. So we got 3 candidates who I believe would be perfect fits for them. First off, we got Brian Flores. I don't exactly know why the Dolphins fired Brian Flores. I don't think he was their issue. The fact that they started off really bad without their top quarterback for a few weeks, and then they come back, win the rest of their games. I just think they're getting a little impatient here with, it's a process. Football is not a thing where, you got to have trust in your quarterback and your coach together. And the Dolphins did completely fine, in my opinion, with Brian Flores. I don't know why they fired him, but I believe that he is a nice candidate for the Bears. We also have Eric Bieniemy, who is the Chiefs offensive coordinator. He's a very good player caller, in my opinion. I think he's bound to have a head coaching job. I think there's a lot of offensive coordinators in the league who are bound to have a head coaching job. But I believe that Eric Bieniemy, it's kind of hard to say his name, but Eric Bieniemy, I believe, is one of the best offensive coordinators out there. He's led the Chiefs to a winning season almost every year, which is very good. Next up, we got Jim Harbaugh, of course. It'll be interesting to see if he leaves college to coach in the NFL. Personally, I think that would be a smart move for him. I think the Bears have a lot of talent. I think Matt Nagy was the problem, unlike the Dolphins. I do believe that was the issue for them. I think that firing Matt Nagy was the right move, and I think bringing in a guy like Jim Harbaugh, who has a lot of experience when it comes to coaching. I think he's just very good, and I think he's coached Michigan pretty well. Teams like the Dolphins have basically said they don't want to take him for Michigan. It's going to be completely his choice. But there's other teams that are really looking at him, and I think the Bears, those are 3 guys that the Bears will really, be successful with. Obviously, it takes a little bit more than a year to start to get a rhythm, especially with Bieniemy and Harbaugh, who are kind of taking a step up. I know Harbaugh's still a coach, but there's a big difference between college and the NFL. And then, of course, Bieniemy was not a coach before. Our next team we got is the Denver Broncos. Broncos have requested a lot of people, mainly a bunch of coaches that aren't coaches now that have gotten fired. First person they really went after to begin with was Jerry Mayo, the Patriots linebackers coach. Haven't heard much of this guy. The Patriots defense is pretty well, so their coaches must be really well. Not sure how well of a head coach he could possibly be. I'm not exactly sure. I have to look more into him, but other than that, I think he's pretty good player. Not player, coach. Next up, we got Nathaniel Hackett. I'm sorry, I spelled Nathaniel wrong there. It's okay, though. Green Bay coordinator. He's very good. I think Green Bay has one of the best offenses in the league, and it's ran by Nathaniel Hackett. Once again, sorry for the misspell. And then, of course, we got Jonathan Gannon. Gannon being the Eagles defensive coordinator. I'm not exactly sure how any of these guys would be great as coaches. Personally, I think Gannon is not. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. The defense that we have is not even the best right now. I don't think, personally, that's the right move. I don't think any of these 3 guys, other than Nathaniel Hackett, are really the right move for the Broncos. And I just don't think you can really risk another failure in a coach. And I think they're going to have to make smart decisions. With that being said, my third team is the Minnesota Vikings. A familiar name on here, Doug Peterson for Eagles fans. Doug Peterson, I think, is bound to get a head coaching job. Vikings and the Jaguars, I'm pretty sure, have both requested to interview him. I think he did very well as a coach when he was coaching with us, and I think that he'll do well with the Vikings. The Vikings are very good talent. They just need a good coach. Of course, you do have Jim Harbaugh, which I already mentioned. And then we got Kellen Moore, Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator. I think Kellen Moore is probably my favorite offensive coordinator, who I think would be a good coach. And, it's kind of hard to say that because, obviously Cowboys, but you see what the Cowboys do offensively. Kellen Moore is just an amazing play caller and an amazing guy to have as a coach. He's also very young, so he's not one of those older guys who's just really grumpy. I think that's kind of what the Vikings need, in my opinion. With our fourth team, we got the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, not the worst team. They have some decent talent, and you can see a lot of these guys over here. We got Byron Leftwich, who I think has he's a crazy coach. He's a crazy guy. I think he's one of the best offensive coordinators out in the league, and I think he'd be an amazing coach. Personally, I like Byron Leftwich. I think that's my number one guy for this Dolphins team. Brian Daboll is also here, the Bills offensive coordinator. Two guys who have just, really coached their team to victory a lot, you can see over the past, and I just think that's kind of one of the reasons why they're just both of those teams that they coach are very good. And then of course you have Joe Brady, who didn't do so well with the Panthers. He was a head coaching guy that was his name was being thrown a lot last year as well with the head coaching debate. Personally, as an Eagles fan, I kind of thought that was who we were going to hire, which I wasn't the worst. I wasn't mad. I just think the team needs to give him a chance. I'm not sure if that's the head coaching opportunity, though, and I don't think that's the move the Dolphins go, but I do believe he's one of the top candidates for them. Next up, we got the Jags. You see two guys here, Byron Leftwich and Doug Peterson, and then we have also Todd Bowles, the Buccaneers defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles, former Jets coach. I don't think he's the best head coach personally. I think when he has good coaching staff around him, he would be very good. And I don't think that's what the Jaguars really specialize in. Personally, I don't think Todd Bowles would be the right fit here. I think maybe having a vet coach like Doug Peterson would be the move for the Jags. Byron Leftwich, I think also would not be the worst, but I don't think that's the best move either. There's other guys like Brian Flores who I think they could also go after. I doubt that that's who they would ever get. But I think that Doug Peterson and Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich are all options, and I don't think it's the worst thing that could possibly happen. I think the Jaguars are a team that has some young talent, but they also have a mix of olds, and I think that's really every bad team sitting at the bottom of the league right now. And I think you need a coach who can, let the old guys, kind of in a way help them coach because they're older players, and I think that there's people like Bruce Arians who let them do that. And that's why the Buccaneers are such a good team. I just think that there's too many younger guys who try to act like they know what they're doing. And I just don't think, having a guy who like Todd Bowles or Byron Leftwich who hasn't really done such a good job. I mean, Todd Bowles, I'm really talking about Todd Bowles, who hasn't done such a good job when he was under a head coach with the Jets, who weren't a good team at the time, had a mix of young and a bigger mix of old. So it'll be interesting to see if Todd Bowles gets a head coaching job, but I do believe that Doug Peterson's the best move. Next up, we got the Giants. Kind of had to throw this in because most of my audience is Giants fans. So I kind of had to give them a little bit of, I guess, will Judge be fired with the new GM coming in? If Joe Judge does get fired, I believe Jim Harbaugh, Brian Daboll, and Brian Flores are all great options for them. People were saying, if Brian Flores gets fired, there's no reason why Joe Judge should have a job as a head coach, and I totally agree with that. But, there's teams that, it's kind of the end of an era, and it's the end. They just want a fresh start, and that was the Dolphins. Maybe there was something going on that we don't understand, maybe an internal conflict with the team. But other than that, I believe all three of these candidates, I've already talked about them mostly, would be great guys to have on the team. So that's basically going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, go check out my Twitter, like this up, share it with all your friends. Of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and have a splendid day.